Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age Mythology Replay. So on the right side is the blue Zeus. We've got CORinthianNIghts. So on the top left side is the red Ra. We've got amc693. Looks like right now he's clicking on some delicious giraffes. I wonder how giraffe tastes in real life. And now, of course, got giraffes being obtained there. I first thought when I clicked between the two players, it was the same player because the giraffes and granary and everything like that was in the same position. Of course, initial eco game. Going to fast forward a little bit. When it comes to the tower relics, we got Tower Cessus gives towers plus 100% bonus damage to myth unit. So he's able to defend himself, perhaps against some like centaur raids. We do have Rhea's Crown, making town center and village centers cost less, as well as generate a little bit of favor. Down south, we do have the Black Lotus, which does improve farming collection rate. And we do also have the Staff of Dionysus, gives villagers some health regen. And this relic here, of course, will give extra bonus to Ra, who also has some food bonuses. Primarily the God Power. Big line of walls and a temple. You have some goats now being obtained. Scout moving around. And we do have now an obelisk being pulled in the field to torment his opponent. You have now age up for Zeus, going for Athena, good access of Minotaur and Restoration. Scout moving around. We do now have the Path, give access to Wadgets, and more important to Shifting Sands. I'm not a big fan of Wadgets. Even though I prefer range myth units, I just don't like Wadgets. They're not very good, in my opinion. And we do have a decent amount of flags. So this is a scouting path. Just trace the flags. Age up now complete for blue. There's Norm the Minotaur as well as Jason. Red is still aging up, but the priests are being put on the field, so he will have an anti-myth unit. Jason moving around, Norm the Minotaur there. Granary now being salvaged. All the giraffes have been eaten. There's the Wadget. The Wadget does offer 12 damage. Of course, have poison all the time. His attack speed's pretty slow. I feel like, I don't know, Wadgets just doesn't feel like they do all too much. Then again, I also don't put much value into poison damage. Damage over time may work for RPGs and MMOs. They don't really work for RTSs, honestly. Blue does steal the goats. He does not task them back. He's tasking them back now. Scout is down. Not big surprise. The goats do move over 2.25. The Wadget can catch up at it, who moves at a pretty slow rate of 3.8. Even though it has wings, it gets to drink a bit too much Red Bull. More Minotaur now being established. We do have the Scallop Axes, increasing axeman damage by 15%. And we've got the Sawduff. It reduces the cost of farms by 50% and build time by 50%. So it's easier transition to it, which is useful for going for rain if you want to make use of that God Power. Because right now, we'll do absolutely nothing. Axeman should be relatively decent versus Zeus. He likes to go for his infantry. Doesn't have to, but the Axeman will be useful against hoplites. Shifting Sands. Oh, there's the Shifting Sands. So one villager does go down. Other villagers going to run away from the Wadget. Jason and I think the Minotaur is falling back. They are bull Minotaurs, so they move at a decent pace. 5.4. Does get a bull gouge. Another Minotaur there. So it looks like blue should be able to win this fight. Minotaur do 17 damage at a higher attack speed, so the Wadjet, look how quickly the Wadjet disintegrates. And there's also a priest there. The priest would do some damage, but it's more of a soft counter than a hard counter since how cheap the priest is. It's a good support unit, but needs a front line for its support, ability to support. It's now trying to claim those berries. It's better to go for the hunts. Hunt meat is more nutritious than berries. Then again, even in real life, berries are far more nutritious than what it is in video games. It is taking the fact that how much we've selectively bred various fruits and vegetables throughout the years to be a bit more nutritious. When I say nutritious, it just I literally mean just contains calories. Because even nowadays, berries, they don't give you many calories. Hence why they're a decent diet food. Almost are going down, but red pulls back the villagers. They're in a dangerous position right now. It may be better to charge and try to migrate in the back. He knows he sees where the Minotaur is going, so he's trying to test back to the berries, which is going to be a good call this moment. Got 7 priests here, a couple hoplites and Jasons. Got some slingers here. The bull Minotaur do run away. They do have very good movement speed. They actually run faster than chariot archers that his opponent could deploy on the field, and that's a mounted archer. These guys are slowly being stoned to death. They're just regular hoplites, not even medium hoplites at the moment. Shifting Sands will soon be available once again, and he has enough favor from the more Shifting Sands. I wonder if that's intended, going for 2 monuments to get out not Shifting Sands after Shifting Sands, which is simply a possibility. Oh, Axemen managed to creep their way over here. Those may have been the same Axemen that managed to stuck around, not get focused down by the bull Minotaur. They may have hid in the corner. Was not paying attention to them. So blue's losing a decent number of villagers. He does have the... Okay, that's Black Lotus, not the Dionysus after Dionysus for villager health regen. More Minotaur, more hoplites, and more Toxidae archers. So I'm going for Axeman Slinger. So in other words, best go for Hippus Cavalry. One of those Axemen is pretty wounded. I think the villagers could be able to shank those guys. Just send the bull Minotaur up there, and then we'll clear those guys out. My apologies, my nose is starting to run, so you may hear me sniff a little bit. Sniffle. By the way, we've got the Axemen and Slingers moving around, as well as a round of villagers heading to this town center. We do have scaffolding, that's why I didn't see enough gold. And the Pharaoh will empower its production. Good number of bull Minotaur here, which can defeat this force, though may lose that wounded one. Let's see, blue's going for copper or medium range attack, Sauricia, and the plow. Villagers idle here. And they need to keep on running. Another reason why to task them. Just task them to run away. The villagers backing on off. We do have the goats being untamed. They're not fully fattened, but looks like they're fat enough. Here comes a bull Minotaur. We got a round of priests here. That is probably adequate numbers. So, and he does focus on the wounded Minotaur there as well. Bull Minotaur, Gores, got Restoration utilized. He can use Shifting Sands to escape. Bolts one the Priest. Looks like Blue's getting a little bit desperate. He's trying to bolt a Priest. This is quite a bit of force Blue's going to lose. And was unable to kill off the Priest and the rest, and there's only one Bold Minotaur remained. There's a fresh one right there. More Toxates being deployed on the field. It looks like that Bold Minotaur will go down. Blue's going for a healthy number of Bold Minotaurs. And all those wounded units getting healed up by the 4 priests. Very, very nice. So they won't get full heal off before the next engagement, and the priest needs to actually attack and not try to heal. Well, priest does go down. He does decide to fall back. He does have a basic gate there, but some of these guys are getting trapped. He lost all of his priests, which is a bit of a problem. There's still now two Bull Minotaur on the field. Going for some Wadgets. I do not like Wadgets. Both player, Blue is getting relatively close to age up. Red is nowhere near to age up. A couple more villagers got gored there. Of course, got the town center here as well. And I think Red has a staff of Dionysus since he see health regen notifications. Yep, looks like we got a relic. It is Staff Dionysus, so his villagers have a bit of health regen. Makes it a bit more resilient to subsequent raids. More of those villagers going on down. We've got the Electrum bullets. I actually looked up what Electrum is made of. It is a gold-silver alloy. Why would someone use gold-silver alloy as a weapon? Well, that's because actually gold and silver are not uncommon to mine out together. We do have now the vulnerable Minotaurs do go down. Blue does back on off. When it comes to a lot of rare earths, if you also include gold into the term rare earth, they actually come in, how to put it, a lot of different ores, a lot of different raw materials all mashed in together. So you have to take time sifting out and take time to separate them, which is actually very difficult even nowadays, hence why rare earths are so expensive. And gold and silver are very common to find each other in the same ore. But what if it's because the how they originally formed, gold and silver originally formed, was because since they are in the same periodic table column, I wonder if that makes any indication why they sometimes naturally form like that. But that could just be just putting heads and tails together, which is incorrect. We got Hercules now pulling field. Good number of Wadgets. And we still just got regular hoplites, not even medium hoplites. Got a good number of Axemen and Priests on the build queue. Got Sobek to get the Petruchos, which can be upgraded to Pet Sobek. Thanks, Grant. And this is no longer a gate there. It's just a wooden wall, which of course is not his own wooden wall, but it has increased health then. Some of the Bull Minotaurs going down. Got another Slinger's back line. The Slingers looks like hitting a little bit everything. Electrum Bolts does give him a little bit of divine damage. Which is probably more because of the silver part of the Electrum rather than the gold part, because silver is primarily good against a lot of monsters. And so we'll go down there. Red will hold. He had a pretty good sized army there. Blue has more reinforcements being gathered on up. Petsuchos is now available. Some laser crocodiles. A fan favorite among many children when growing up, like myself. Because who doesn't like laser crocodiles? Miggle Stronghold going on up. We got a hoplite saying no. Now got the wooden gate has been formed. Good number of slingers and axes on the build queue. 6 priests, 5 priests on the build queue as well. I just love hearing the priest healing sound effect. You know that you get doing some good work if your priest can actually take time to heal up something. Red's just being a little bit more passive than Blue, which is probably perfectly fine. He has 2 town centers. Blue has only the 1 so far, so it's getting decent economic advantage. The rock is flying about, not for any drops, but just for some scouting. Miggle Stronghold, I think, could have been pushed forward a little bit more to help protect the choke point. But oh well. Locusts. Oh! Locusts do bonus damage versus farms, so he's eating all these farms. And farms, 75 wood, and there was what? 10 farms went down? That's 700 wood down the drain, or 750. And I think that was more than 10 farms. That's a lot of wood loss for Blue, and Blue does not have any wood stockpile. So that is a permanent economic damage onto Blue. Locust is a very nice god power. Because something just nuke your opponent's entire farm line, not necessarily the villagers. Villagers took a hit though. Times in which he had his staff Dionysus, it's not red. We have an Ajax going for Dionysus. We're giving next to Hydra to Hail. Hercules does take out some Wadgets. Hercules does go down. Priests need to be micro to hit those Bold Minotaur. It looks like everything's being stoned to death. Another Bold Minotaur being employed in the field. And there's Hail. There's Hydra. Hail it. Heavy Axemen rip apart the villagers. Guess those axes are executioner axes. And looks like Blue goes ahead and backs out of the game. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.